and we'll keep drifting, floating together through the science of health, looping softly, endlessly, through the night, with the wisdom of Dr. William Li. Tonight we'll drift through angiogenesis and cellular renewal, the microscopic guardians of your microbiome, the silent strengthening of your DNA protection. There's nothing you need to do now. Just let your body sink, heavier, heavier. Feel the mattress holding you, every muscle softening, your heartbeat slowing, thump, thump, matching the rhythm of regeneration itself. Shoulders melting down, jaw releasing, each breath pulling you deeper, deeper into the calm, the quiet, the dark. If this health learning video helps you rest, tap subscribe, comment, and hit like, so others can find this calm too. But only if your eyes are still open. Otherwise, just drift. Now, let's drift into the defenses, inside your body right now, this very moment. As your eyelids grow heavy, there are rivers, tiny rivers you cannot see, flowing through every inch of you, carrying oxygen, carrying life. These are your blood vessels, 60,000 miles of them. If you stretched them end to end, they would circle the earth twice. This is angiogenesis, the first defense, the building and pruning of blood vessels, happening in the darkness of your tissues, while you sleep, while you dream. Your body knows exactly when to grow new pathways and when to close old ones. Think of a garden in spring, when new shoots push through soil, seeking sunlight. This is what happens inside you. Endothelial progenitor cells drifting through your bloodstream like seeds on the wind, searching for places that need healing, places that need more life. These cells, they taste the chemical whispers of your tissues. They sense where oxygen runs low, where nutrients grow scarce, and they bloom. They bloom into new capillaries, so small that red blood cells must travel single file, like a quiet procession, delivering what you need, taking away what you don't. Your breath deepens now, in, out, and with each exhalation, you release. You release, and your vessels respond. The endothelium, that silken inner lining of every blood vessel, releases nitric oxide, a molecule so simple, just one nitrogen, one oxygen, yet it relaxes your vessel walls, opens them, allows blood to flow, easier, smoother, like a river widening after winter's thaw. There are foods that speak this language, foods that whisper to your angiogenesis, telling it when to grow, when to rest. Green tea, with its EGCG molecules, delicate catechins that float through your plasma. They find cancer cells trying to build their own blood supply, and they say, "No, not here." This is how anti-angiogenesis works. Starving what shouldn't grow, feeding what should. Imagine now a dark square of chocolate melting on your tongue, the flavanols, compounds with names like epicatechin, moving into your blood. Within hours, your endothelial cells respond, producing more nitric oxide, Your vessels dilate just slightly. Blood pressure drops a few points, barely noticeable. Yet over years, over decades, this gentle pressure saves your heart, saves your brain. Blueberries, small globes of midnight blue, they're anthocyanins, pigments that paint them dark. These molecules cross into your bloodstream still vibrant, still coloured. They embed in your vessel walls, protecting them from oxidation, from inflammation. Think of them as tiny shields lining your 60,000 miles of rivers. Let your jaw go slack now, teeth parting, tongue resting heavy. As you soften, your body begins its night work. Stem cells awaken. This is the second defense, regeneration, the power to rebuild, to renew. You are not the same person you were 7 years ago. Not one cell is the same. Your skin has replaced itself dozens of times. Your liver has regenerated completely. Your bones have remodeled themselves, dissolved old matrix, built new. Everything you are is constantly becoming in your bone marrow right now, in the hollow centers of your femurs, your pelvis, your ribs. Hematopoietic stem cells divide. One becomes two. One stays a stem cell, a holding potential. The other begins its journey toward becoming a red blood cell, a white blood cell, a platelet. 2 million red blood cells, born every second, rushing out to replace the ones that have aged, that have served their 4-month life and dissolved. Your intestinal lining, it replaces itself every few days. Stem cells nestled in tiny crypts, dividing continuously, sending daughter cells up toward the surface, where they mature, absorb nutrients, and slough away. Millions of cells, billions, turning over in a quiet cascade, while you lie here, breathing, sinking. Turmeric, its curcumin molecules, bright yellow as sunlight. They reach your stem cells. They activate pathways, ancient genetic switches that tell your cells, repair, renew. The same signals that helped your ancestors heal wounds, fight infections, survive. Sulforaphane, born when you chew broccoli sprouts, when the enzyme myrosinase meets glucoraphanin, creating this molecule of transformation. It enters your cells, travels to the nucleus, and activates NRF2, a master regulator. Suddenly, hundreds of genes switch on. Genes for detoxification, for antioxidant production. Your cells begin making glutathione, their primary defender, their primary recycler of damage. Feel your body now, heavy as stone, yet somehow floating. This paradox of sleep, where you are both here and nowhere. Your blood-brain barrier softens slightly, becomes more permeable. Waste products that accumulated during the day, beta amyloid proteins, tau tangles, begin their exodus, flowing out through glymphatic channels, spaces between cells that expand as you sleep, like streets widening after everyone goes home. The microbiome, your third defense, begins its night shift. In your gut, 3 pounds of bacteria, fungi, viruses, archaea, a rainforest of microscopic life. They are not invaders. They are you, as much a part of you as your own cells, perhaps more, for they outnumber your human cells, 10 to 1. In the darkness of your colon, where no light has ever reached, bacteria feast on fiber, on resistant starches, on the indigestible parts of plants you ate today. They break these down, ferment them, and create. They create short-chain fatty acids, butyrate, propionate, acetate, molecules of communication. Butyrate, it feeds your colonocytes, the cells lining your intestinal wall. It is their preferred fuel, more than glucose, more than anything else. When butyrate bathes these cells, they strengthen their tight junctions, the seals between cells, preventing unwanted particles from slipping through into your bloodstream. Your eyes are heavy now, so heavy. If they flutter open, that's fine. They'll close again, heavier each time. There's a bacterium, Akkermansia mucinifera, living in your mucus layer. It eats the mucin you produce, and in doing so, it signals your body to make more, keeping the barrier thick, protective. When Akkermansia thrives, your metabolism improves, your blood sugar stabilizes, inflammation drops. This single species, invisible to your eye, shifting the chemistry of your entire body. Lactobacillus reuteri, another guardian. It produces reuterin, a polysaccharide that modulates your immune system. It increases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the hormone of trust, of calm. This is the gut-brain axis, a two-way highway of signals, where bacteria influence your mood, your thoughts, your dreams. Pomegranates, their ruby seeds bursting with ellagic acid. Your gut bacteria transform this into urolithin A, a molecule that triggers mitophagy, the cleanup of old. The fourth defense to DNA protection operates at a scale smaller than imagination. Inside every cell, inside every nucleus, your DNA coils around histone proteins like thread around spools. These spools cluster into chromosomes, and at the end of each chromosome, like the plastic tips on shoelaces, are telomeres, repeating sequences of T-tag, thousands of repeats. They protect your genetic information from degradation, but with each cell division, they shorten, a cellular clock counting down, unless telomerase activates. This enzyme, it adds repeats back, lengthening the clock. In stem cells, in reproductive cells, telomerase stays active, but in most cells, it's silent. Lifestyle speaks to telomeres. Chronic stress shortens them. Rapid aging at the molecular level. But meditation, exercise, connection with others, these lengthen them or slow their shortening. Your thoughts, your experiences, literally changing the structure of your DNA. The tomatoes you ate, lycopene molecules, bright red carotenoids. They incorporate into your cell membranes. They intercept free radicals, those unstable molecules with unpaired electrons. desperate to steal from others. Lycopene donates, stabilizes, protects the membrane, protects the DNA inside, omega-3 fatty acids from salmon, from mackerel, those cold water fish with silver sides. EPA and DHA molecules, they replace omega-6 fats in your membranes, changing the membrane's fluidity, its signaling properties. Suddenly, inflammation signals decrease, resolution signals increase. Your body learns to heal faster, to stop inflammation when the threat passes. Let your legs go limp, feet falling outward, loose. All the tiny muscles of your feet, your toes, releasing. You don't need to hold yourself together. The bed holds you. The earth holds you. Gravity, that constant pull, becomes a comfort, pulling you down, down into rest. DNA repair mechanisms work all night. Nucleotide excision repair, snipping out damaged bases, inserting correct ones. Base excision repair, fixing oxidative damage. Mismatch repair, correcting errors from replication. Dozens of enzymes, with names like photolyase, glycosylase, ligase, working in concert, a molecular maintenance crew, while you sleep, while you dream. Epigenetics, the software running on your genetic hardware. Methyl groups attached to cytosine bases, silencing genes. Acetyl groups attached to histones, loosening DNA, allowing genes to be read. These modifications, they change without changing the DNA sequence itself. They respond to your environment, your food, your stress, your sleep. Sulforaphane from broccoli, EGCG from green tea, resveratrol from red grapes. These compounds alter your epigenetic marks. They can silence oncogenes, genes that promote cancer. They can activate tumor suppressor genes like 53, the guardian of the genome. When 53 senses DNA damage, it stops the cell cycle, calls for repair, or if damage is too severe, initiates apoptosis, cell death, a cell sacrificing itself for your greater good. Blueberries and blackberries, raspberries and cranberries, they're anthocyanins and pterostilbene. They activate sirtuins, enzymes that remove acetyl groups, changing gene expression. Sirtuins respond to stress, to caloric restriction, to fasting. They trigger cellular cleanup, autophagy, where cells digest their own damaged components, recycling them into building blocks. Your hands rest easy now, palms up or down, it doesn't matter. Fingers curled naturally. The warmth of your body held close by blankets, by sheets. You're wrapped in warmth, in darkness, in silence. The fifth defense, immunity, never sleeps, even as you do. Natural killer cells patrol your bloodstream, your tissues. They inspect every cell they encounter, looking for the signals of infection, of cancer. Healthy cells display MHC class I molecules, showing fragments of their internal proteins, saying, I am self, I am normal. But when a cell becomes infected with virus, when it transforms into cancer, these displays change or disappear. The natural killer cell recognizes this. attaches, and releases porphyrin, proteins that puncture the target cell's membrane. Granzymes follow, enzymes that trigger apoptosis. The target cell dismantles itself from within, quietly, without inflammation, without fuss. T cells, born in bone marrow, educated in the thymus. Each one carries a unique receptor, shaped to recognize one specific molecular pattern. Millions of different T cells, a vast library of recognition. When one finds its match on an infected cell, on a cancer cell, it activates, it proliferates, creating an army of clones, all seeking that same target. Helper T cells coordinate the response, releasing cytokines, chemical messages that call other immune cells to battle. Cytotoxic T cells destroy infected cells directly. You might see colors behind your eyelids, swirls of purple, green, gold. Just watch them. No need to make sense. No need to hold on. Macrophages, the big eaters, they engulf bacteria, dead cells, debris. Inside their bodies, powerful enzymes break everything down, digest it. Some macrophages, the M1 type, are warriors, producing inflammation, destroying invaders. Others, M2 type, are healers, producing growth factors, remodeling tissue, building back what was destroyed. Your diet shifts this balance. Omega-6 fats from seed oils, they push toward M1, toward inflammation. Omega-3 fats from fish, flax seeds, walnuts, they favor M2, toward resolution, toward healing. The very structure of fat molecule, determining whether your immune system runs hot or cool. Mushrooms, with their beta-glucans, polysaccharides that bind to receptors on macrophages, activating them, training them. Shiitake, meitake, oyster mushrooms, each with slightly different beta-glucan structures, each training your immunity differently. Enoki mushrooms, with their flammulin, actually inhibiting cancer growth directly. These fungi, neither plant nor animal, offering compounds we cannot make ourselves. Garlic, when you crush it, when you chew it, the enzyme allinase meets allin, creating allicin, that pungent sulfur compound that burns your tongue, stimulates your eyes. Allicin enters your blood. It's antimicrobial, antifungal. It stimulates the production of white blood cells, enhances natural killer cell activity. A simple bulb, grown in dark earth, protecting you. The chlorogenic acid in coffee, the rosmarinic acid in rosemary, these polyphenols, they reduce inflammation, not by suppressing immunity, but by modulating it, by teaching it discernment, when to fight, when to rest. Your breathing has found its own rhythm now. You're not controlling it. It's breathing you, deep and slow, or shallow and quick. It doesn't matter. Your body knows. Your ancient brainstem, older than thought, older than mammals, controlling breath, heartbeat, the fundamental drumbeat of life. In your gut, in your mouth, in your lungs, lives the microbiome again, not just in your intestines, everywhere. Bacteria in your mouth, Streptococcus salivarius. They produce bacteriocins, proteins that kill pathogenic bacteria, defending the gateway to your body, your oral microbiome, communicating with your gut microbiome, through the digestive tract, through the blood, through immune cells that sample bacteria and carry information between sites. Fiber from oats, from barley, from apples and pears, feeds your beneficial bacteria. They proliferate, outcompeting pathogens, producing those short-chain fatty acids again. Butyrate traveling through your bloodstream, reaching immune cells, telling them, calm, steady, all is well. Probiotics, the live bacteria in yogurt, in kefir, lactobacillus, bifidobacterium species. They don't colonize permanently, most pass through, but while present, they communicate. They produce vitamins, K2 from certain bacteria in fermented cheeses, Gouda, Jarlsberg, Edam. This vitamin K2, it directs calcium into bones, away from arteries, preventing osteoporosis, preventing arterial calcification, from bacteria in cheese, ripening in caves for months. Let your awareness expand now. Beyond your skin, you're not separate from the air. You breathe it in, you breathe it out. Changed. Carbon dioxide for oxygen. A trade with the trees, with the algae in the oceans. You're part of a vast circulation of breath, of elements, of energy. The vitamin C in kiwi fruit, in strawberries, in bell peppers. It concentrates in white blood cells, 10 to 100 times higher than blood levels. There, it protects these immune cells from the very oxidative bursts they use to kill pathogens. It's an antioxidant, but also a cofactor for enzymes that build collagen, that regulate gene expression. Scurvy, that ancient disease of sailors, is actually immune dysfunction, connective tissue breakdown, blood vessels leaking, all from lacking this one simple molecule, zinc, from oysters, from pumpkin seeds, from chickpeas. It's essential for T-cell development, for natural killer cell function. Even mild deficiency, common in the elderly, drastically impairs immunity. The thymus shrinks, fewer T-cells mature, susceptibility to infection rises, but adequate zinc from real food reverses this. The thymus regenerates, even in old age. Hope in a mineral, in a seed. Your thoughts are fragmenting now, becoming non-linear. This is good. This is right. The default mode network of your brain, that web of regions active during rest, during daydreaming, it's taking over from the task-positive network. You're shifting from doing to being. Quercetin in onions, in apples, in tea. It stabilizes mast cells, preventing them from releasing histamine inappropriately. This is why it helps with allergies, with inflammation. It's a senolytic, clearing senescent cells, those zombie cells that won't die, that secrete inflammatory factors, aging your tissues. Quercetin, with its 5 hydroxyl groups, donated from plants. Cleaning house. The camphorol in kale, in spinach, in broccoli. the apigenin in parsley, in celery. These flavonoids, they bind to benzodiazepine receptors, the same receptors targeted by anti-anxiety medications, but gently, naturally. They don't sedate, they calm, they reduce anxiety, improve sleep quality from plants that humans have eaten for thousands of years, co-evolving, learning each other's languages. Your body temperature drops now, slightly, as it does every night, signaling to every cell, time to sleep, time to rest, time to heal. Melatonin rises, not just from your pineal gland, but from your gut, from enterochromaffin cells. More melatonin in your gut than in your brain. This hormone, older than humans, older than animals, found in bacteria, in plants, an ancient signal for rest, for antioxidant protection, for DNA repair. The anthocyanins in cherries, they increase melatonin production. This is why tart cherry juice helps sleep, not sedation, but alignment with your circadian rhythm, with the Earth's rotation, with the ancient dance of light and dark. Darkness itself is medicine. When light enters your eyes, even through closed lids, it suppresses melatonin. This is why caves, why blackout curtains, why covering LED lights matters. Your body needs darkness, deep, complete, to activate all the repair mechanism that wait for night. You're so deep now, balanced on the edge. Sometimes you'll notice you're still awake, and that's fine. The noticing doesn't pull you back. It's just a flicker, a ripple on the surface, while underneath you continue sinking, down through layers, through stages, N1, N2, towards slow wave sleep. The lutein and zeaxanthin in egg yolks, in dark leafy greens, in corn. These carotenoids accumulate in your macula, the center of your retina. They filter blue light, protect photoreceptors from oxidative damage, but they also cross into your brain, concentrating in regions responsible for memory, for processing speed, for cognition, not just eye health, but brain health. From yellow and green, absorbed over years, creating shields in your most delicate tissues. The capsaicin in chili peppers that burn on your tongue, it's binding to TRPV1 receptors, pain receptors, but repeated exposure teaches your body. Substance P depletes, pain sensitivity decreases, and something else happens. Metabolism increases, brown fat activates, thermogenesis, the production of heat, burning calories, not for activity, but for warmth. Capsaicin, training your body to burn, to transform. Extra virgin olive oil, it's oleocanthal, the compound that creates that peppery catch in your throat. It works like ibuprofen, inhibiting the same inflammatory enzymes, COX-1 and COX-2, but also it activates autophagy, cellular cleanup, and it's rich in oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that becomes part of every cell membrane, making them more fluid, more responsive. Mediterranean peoples, consuming this oil for millennia, their cardiovascular health, their longevity, written in the chemistry of the olive. Let go of your face now. Your forehead smooths, the tiny muscles around your eyes releasing, your cheeks heavy, soft, your lips barely touching or parted slightly, however they want to rest. There's no right way. Your face melting, returning to the expression you had before you learned to make expressions, before mirrors, before judgment. Just your face in darkness, at rest, inside your mitochondria. The Krebs cycle turns, acetyl-CoA entering, oxaloacetate waiting. Together they form citrate, which transforms through isocitrate, alpha-ketoglutarate, succinyl-CoA, succinate, fumarate, malate, and back to oxaloacetate, a circle, turning thousands of times per second in thousands of mitochondria in trillions of cells, generating ATP, the energy currency, 36 molecules of ATP from one molecule of glucose, an alchemical transformation of sugar and oxygen into the energy that powers every thought, every heartbeat, every protein synthesized while you lie here suspended between wake and sleep. Coenzyme Q10, ubiquinone, it shuttles electrons in the electron transport chain. Without it, the whole system stalls. Energy production drops. Your heart, your brain. Tissues with high energy needs suffer first, but ubiquinone, you make it yourself from amino acids, from vitamins, and you get it from food, from organ meats, from sardines, from spinach, supporting the engines, the power plants that sustain your life. You're drifting between thoughts, between worlds. Sometimes you're here, aware of your body, of the room, of these words, and sometimes you're gone into a dream, into nothing, into a warm, dark ocean where there is no separation between you and everything. The ursolic acid in apple peels, in rosemary, in holy basil, it triggers muscle growth, even without exercise. It increases brown fat, decreases white fat. It enhances insulin sensitivity, blood sugar control, from the waxy coating on fruit that protects it from insects, from fungus, now protecting you. Cross-kingdom communication, plants teaching animals how to thrive, navy beans, lentils, black beans, chickpeas, their resistant starch. It resists digestion in your small intestine, travels intact to your colon, where bacteria ferment it, creating butyrate. That medicine again, that fuel, that signal. Inflammation dropping, gut barrier strengthening. Even your brain benefits. Butyrate crossing the blood-brain barrier, influencing gene expression in neurons. The prebiotic fibers, inulin from chicory, from Jerusalem artichokes, from leeks, they feed specifically bifidobacteria, watching them bloom, multiply, outcompeting less beneficial species. Your microbiome composition shifting with every meal, with every choice. You're gardening your internal ecosystem with your fork. Your heartbeat seems far away now, like someone else's heart, beating in another room. You can feel it, faintly, but it's not urgent, not concerning, just there, like the sound of distant waves, rhythmic, eternal. You trust it to keep going without your attention. It's been beating since before you were born, since you were the size of a poppy seed, and it will beat until your very last moment. Faithful, tireless, your heart. The proanthocyanidins in cranberries, in cocoa, in pine bark, they prevent bacteria from adhering to cell walls. This is how cranberries help prevent urinary tract infections. The bacteria can't stick, can't colonize. They just pass through, flushed away. Plant chemistry as defense, as medicine. Tempeh and miso, soybeans fermented by Rhizopus, by Aspergillus, creating vitamin K2, creating amino acids, creating enzymes that predigest proteins, making them easier to absorb, and soy's genistein, phytoestrogen, binding to estrogen receptors, but weakly. In women with high estrogen, it competes, lowering activity. In women with low estrogen, it activates, raising activity, a balancing act from a bean that has fed Asia for thousands of years. The L-argitannins in walnuts, in pecans, in pomegranates, your gut bacteria, again transforming them into urolithin A, into urolithin B. These urolithins, they trigger mitophagy, cleaning up damaged mitochondria, autophagy at the organelle level, your cells getting rid of the power plants that leak free radicals, that produce energy inefficiently, replacing them with new ones. Renewal at the smallest scale imaginable. There's a tingling in your fingers, your toes, or maybe a heaviness, or maybe nothing at all. Each body, each night is different. There's no single path into sleep, just a letting go, a softening, a trust that your body knows what to do. The sesame seeds on bread, they're sesamin and sesamolin, lignans that become enterolignans in your gut. These compounds, they modulate hormone metabolism, they have antioxidant effects, they protect liver cells. A tiny seed packed with oil, with minerals, with compounds that speak to your cells, in whispers you cannot hear, but your body understands. Chia seeds, swelling in water, forming a gel. This is soluble fiber, slowing glucose absorption, feeding bacteria, and omega-3 alpha-linolenic acid that your body converts inefficiently into EPA and DHA, plant omega-3s, not as potent as fish, but still beneficial, still speaking the language of anti-inflammation, your pelvis, your hips, sinking into the mattress, heavy as stone, your lower back releasing, the curve softening or staying curved. It doesn't matter, just resting, supported, held. Kombucha, tea fermented by a SCOBY, symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, gluconic acid, acetic acid, small amounts of alcohol, organic acids that taste sour, that wake your mouth, but also beneficial bacteria, beneficial yeasts, adding diversity to your microbiome. Fermentation, humanity's partnership with invisible life turning tea and sugar into something medicinal. The glucosinolates in broccoli, in cabbage, in watercress, when you chew them, myrosinus enzyme creates isothiocyanates, sulforaphane. These activate phase 2 detoxification enzymes in your liver in every cell. Suddenly you can neutralize carcinogens, heavy metals, just toxins, more efficiently, more completely. From the bitter taste of cruciferous vegetables comes protection. Arugula, watercress, bok choy, Swiss chard, dark leafy greens, chlorophyll, the molecule that captures sunlight, that powers photosynthesis. When you eat it, it becomes part of you. It has antioxidant effects. It helps with detoxification. It's structurally similar to hemoglobin. One has magnesium at its center, one has iron, but the structure almost identical, as if plant blood and animal blood are cousins. Your mind is wandering now through memories, through images, through abstract sensations, a color bleeding into a sound, a texture becoming an emotion. This is how creativity happens, in this liminal space, where categories dissolve, where anything can connect to anything. The miracetin in berries, in herbs, in wine. It inhibits the enzyme that breaks down dopamine, making dopamine last longer in your synapses. Mood brightens, motivation increases from a flavonoid, from fruit, gently, naturally, shifting the chemistry of consciousness. Sourdough bread, risen by wild yeast, by lactobacilli, the bacteria, they partially digest the gluten, making it more digestible for humans. They lower the glycemic index, blood sugar rises more slowly, and they produce acids that increase mineral absorption, iron, zinc, magnesium, more bioavailable from fermented bread than from regular bread. Ancient wisdom. In modern understanding, sardines and anchovies, small fish, low on the food chain, less mercury, more omega-3s, their tiny soft bones, edible, providing calcium, and their omega-3s, in the form already active, EPA and DHA, ready to incorporate into your cell membranes, into your brain, which is 60% fat, the right fats, the right structure, for thought, for memory, for mood. You're almost gone now, hovering just above sleep. Soon you'll cross over and you won't know when it happened. There's no clear line, no border, just a gradual dimming, a gentle descent into the dark, into the depths, where your body does its deepest work, where cells divide, where proteins synthesize, where memories consolidate, all without you, without your conscious mind, your body taking over, as it has every night of your life. The squid ink in pasta, in rice, its melanin, powerful antioxidant, antimicrobial properties, used in traditional medicine for centuries, and modern research confirms it supports immunity, it protects DNA. This black liquid from a sea creature becomes medicine, becomes protection for you. Sea bass and halibut, white fish, lean protein, but also small amounts of omega-3s and selenium. Selenium, essential for glutathione peroxidase, the enzyme that breaks down hydrogen peroxide, that neutralizes free radicals. Without selenium, this enzyme doesn't work. Thyroid hormone metabolism stops, a trace mineral measured in micrograms, determining whether systems function or fail. Let the weight of sleep pull you down now, like sinking into warm water, gentle, irresistible. The more you surrender, the deeper you go. There's nothing to fear. In the dark, in sleep, your defenses are awake. Your angiogenesis, building, pruning, your stem cells, dividing, renewing, your microbiome, fermenting, protecting, your DNA, repairing, your immunity, patrolling, all 5 defenses working in concert, an orchestra, playing through the night, and you can rest, you can let go, knowing your body continues. The pumpkin, the squash, the sweet potato, their orange flesh, beta-carotene, provitamin A in your intestines, an enzyme cleaves it, creating retinol, vitamin A, essential for vision, for immunity, for cell differentiation, for preventing infection, for maintaining barriers, skin, mucous membranes, the first line of defense. From root vegetables stored through winter, providing sustenance, providing medicine, cashews and almonds, pistachios and pine nuts. Each nut, each seed is an embryo, packed with everything needed to grow a tree. Fat for energy, protein for structure, minerals, vitamins, antioxidants for protection. When you eat them, you consume this concentrated life force, this potential, becoming your energy, your structure, your protection. Brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat, these whole grains keep their bran, their germ. The parts removed in refining are the parts with minerals, with fiber, with vitamins. Eating whole, eating complete, honors the grain, honors your body, slow releasing energy. Through the day, through the night, stabilizing blood sugar, feeding gut bacteria, providing sustained fuel. The last thoughts are drifting away like clouds, dispersing, leaving only sky, only space, only the steady rhythm of breath, of heartbeat, and even these fade into the background, into the silence. Beneath everything, you are safe, you are held, and now you drift into deeper waters where thoughts, where awareness dissolve completely into the vast ocean of unconsciousness. You have crossed over now, or perhaps you haven't. It's impossible to know we're in this borderland where one moment you hear these words and the next you're somewhere else entirely, dreaming of rivers, of gardens, of light moving through cells like stars through dark water. Your slow wave sleep deepens, delta waves rolling across your cortex. 1 hertz, 2 hertz, the slowest brain rhythms, the deepest rest. Your blood pressure drops, your breathing slows to 12 breaths per minute. 10, 8. Your growth hormone surges, peak levels 10 times higher than during the day. This is when children grow, when adults repair, when muscles strengthen, when bones remodel. Growth hormone, it signals your liver to produce IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor. This molecule travels through your blood, telling cells grow, repair, synthesize protein, build muscle, strengthen tendons, thicken bones, all while you drift through darkness, through dreams, your conscious mind absent, your body fully present, fully active, in the work of renewal. The collagen in bone broth, from chicken feet, from beef knuckles, simmered for hours, releases gelatin, amino acids, glycine and proline. These become the building blocks of your own collagen, the most abundant protein in your body, forming the scaffold of your skin, your tendons, your blood vessels, your bones. Type I collagen in skin and bone, type 2 in cartilage, type 3 in blood vessels and organs, each slightly different, each essential, each requiring vitamin C for synthesis. The bell peppers, red, yellow, orange, their vitamin C content higher than oranges, and their capsaicin, capsorubin, carotenoids that give them colour. These antioxidants, they protect LDL cholesterol from oxidation. This matters because oxidized LDL is what damages arteries, initiates atherosclerosis. Unoxidized LDL, even high levels, may be less harmful. The same molecule, changed by oxidation, becomes dangerous. This is why antioxidants from real food matter so deeply. You might feel yourself falling or floating, that hypnic G-arc, where suddenly your body startles. This is normal. This is your nervous system releasing the letting go of the day's tension. Don't fight it. Just settle back into the softness, the darkness. It will pass, and you'll sink deeper than before. In your liver, right now, phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification process everything. Absorbed today, cytochrome P450 enzymes in phase 1 add oxygen to toxins and making them more reactive, more dangerous, briefly. Then phase 2, conjugation reactions, add glutathione, sulfate, glucuronic acid. These additions make toxins water-soluble, ready to excrete through kidneys, through bile. This two-phase system, it evolved over millions of years, dealing with plant toxins, with bacterial endotoxin, with environmental chemicals. Your ancestors, eating wild plants, needed robust detoxification, and you inherit this ancient machinery, still protecting you, still transforming poison into waste, danger into safety. The coffee you drank, it's chlorogenic acid, it's a polyphenol. When gut bacteria metabolize it, they create caffeic acid, ferulic acid. These compounds increase antioxidant capacity. They modulate glucose absorption. This is partly why coffee drinkers have lower rates of type 2 diabetes, lower rates of Parkinson's disease, lower rates of certain cancers, not from caffeine alone, but from the hundreds of compounds in roasted beans working together in ways we're only beginning to understand. The darkness behind your eyelids might show colours, phosphines, random firing of neurons in your visual cortex. As sleep approaches, inhibition decreases. Neurons fire spontaneously, creating light that isn't there, shapes, patterns, sacred geometry. Some say these patterns are hardwired into human consciousness, the same shapes seen in meditation, in psychedelic states, in near-death experiences. Perhaps they are the brain's fundamental architecture made visible in the absence of external input. Your gut bacteria are producing neurotransmitters now. Lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, making GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, your primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, the one that quiets neural activity, reduces anxiety or promotes calm. Some gut bacteria make serotonin. 90% of your body's serotonin is made in your gut, not your brain. This explains why gut problems so often accompany mood disorders, why antibiotics can trigger depression, why probiotics sometimes help anxiety. The gut is your second brain, or perhaps your brain is your second gut. The vagus nerve, wandering from brainstem to colon, carries signals both ways. Your gut sends information to your brain through the vagus, satiety signals, immune status, bacterial metabolites, all traveling up, influencing mood, influencing cognition, and your brain sends back stress signals, calm signals, affecting gut motility, affecting mucus production, affecting which bacteria thrive or starve. A conversation, constant, bidirectional, invisible, yet shaping everything you think and feel. You're so far down now, beneath the waves, beneath thought. Sometimes awareness flickers like a candle in wind, and you remember you're listening, you're here, but mostly chummed. You're gone, dissolved into the dark, into the space, between breaths, between heartbeats, into the void. That is also, somehow, everything. The red wine, in moderation, it's resveratrol. This stilbenoid, made by grapes in response to stress, to fungal infection, becomes, when you drink it, an activator of sirtuins, those longevity enzymes that mimic caloric restriction, that trigger autophagy, that protect against age-related diseases. But also, red wine contains ethanol, and ethanol is toxic, metabolized to acetaldehyde, even more toxic. This is the paradox, the benefit and the harm coexisting in the same glass. Moderation, that ancient wisdom, confirmed by modern biochemistry, the scallions and leeks, allium vegetables, like garlic and onions, but milder. Their organosulfur compounds, still active, still protective. They modulate phase 2 detoxification. They have antimicrobial properties. They support cardiovascular health. Humble vegetable, grown in every garden, for thousands of years, offering medicine in every meal, your body temperature continues dropping. By morning, it will be a full degree lower than evening. This temperature drop triggers sleep, and sleep triggers temperature drop, a feedback loop, reinforcing itself. Your extremities warm slightly. As core temperature falls, blood vessels in hands and feet dilate, radiating heat. This is why warm socks sometimes help sleep onset. The paradox of cooling your core by warming your periphery. Melatonin, now at peak levels, doesn't just make you sleepy. It's one of the most potent antioxidants, directly scavenging free radicals in mitochondria in the nucleus, protecting DNA during the night when repair mechanisms are most active. And melatonin receptors exist on immune cells. When melatonin binds, it modulates immune function, enhancing some responses, dampening others, maintaining balance, preventing autoimmunity, while supporting defense against infection. The cherries you ate yesterday, their melatonin content, though small, signals to your own production, hey, it's time. Even small amounts from food can help synchronize your circadian rhythm. This is entrainment, your internal clock, matching external cues, light, darkness, food timing, temperature, all pulling your biological rhythms into alignment with Earth's rotation, with the seasons, with the cosmos. You're not separate. You're part of these cycles, these rhythms as old as life itself. In your bone marrow, hematopoiesis accelerates during sleep. Stem cell division peaks. White blood cell production increases. This is why sleep-deprived people get sick more easily. Their immune systems don't have time to replenish, to repair, to build reserves. Sleep is immunological maintenance, scheduled by evolution, timed to darkness, when predators hunted, and staying still and hidden was safest anyway. REM sleep approaches. Random eye movement. Your eyes, beneath closed lids, begin to dart left, right, up, down. Following dream imagery, your brain, as active now as during waking, but processing differently, consolidating memories, integrating experiences, making connections, creative insights happen in REM. Problems solved that seemed impossible when you went to bed. Your muscles, except for diaphragm, except for eyes, become paralyzed. Atonia. This protects you and from acting out dreams, from hurting yourself or others. Sleep paralysis, when you wake, but atonia remains, can be terrifying, but it's just a timing mismatch between consciousness and motor control. It passes, always passes, as your brain fully wakes. The acetylcholine surge in REM activates your hippocampus, your memory center, replays the day, strengthens important memories, weakens irrelevant ones. This is why studying before sleep works better than staying up all night. The memories need sleep to solidify, to integrate, into long-term storage, knowledge, becoming wisdom through the alchemy of dreams. The flax seeds you sprinkled on your oatmeal, their lignans, their alpha-linolenic acid, their soluble fiber, all working together, the fiber feeding bacteria, the bacteria converting lignans into entrodiol, entrolactone. These have weak estrogenic activity, balancing hormones, protecting against hormone-sensitive cancers, and the omega-3 converting slowly into EPA and DHA, not efficiently, but enough to matter over years, over decades of consistent consumption. Sweet dreams emerge, or strange ones, or none that you remember. Most dreams you forget within seconds of waking, unless you wake during REM or immediately after. The memory evaporates like morning dew. This forgetting may be protective, preventing dream memories from contaminating real memories. Your brain carefully separating fantasy from reality, imagination from perception. The kale, the spinach, the chard, their nitrates concentrate in your saliva. Bacteria in your mouth reduce nitrate to nitrite. You swallow this, and in your stomach's acidity, nitrite becomes nitric oxide. That same molecule that relaxes blood vessels, increases blood flow. This is the interosalivary circulation of nitrate, your mouth bacteria, essential for converting plant nitrates into vascular medicine. Without these bacteria, the benefits of leafy greens diminish. This is why antibacterial mouthwash might harm cardiovascular health by killing the very bacteria you need. Your kidneys filter your blood, all of it, every 2 hours, removing waste, balancing electrolytes, concentrating urine. At night, antidiuretic hormone increases. You produce less urine, so you don't have to wake to urinate. Usually, your body knows now is for rest, for stillness. Bladder capacity increases, sphincter tone increases, all coordinated by hypothalamus, by pituitary, by the kidneys themselves. A conversation between organs and chemical language. You never have to think about the cauliflower, the cabbage, the Brussels sprouts. More cruciferous vegetables, more glucosinolates, more isothiocyanates, each slightly different, each activating slightly different pathways. This is why diversity matters. Not just one superfood, but many foods, many compounds, many bacteria, many pathways, redundancy, resilience. This is how complex systems stay healthy through variation, through multiplicity. Let your awareness scatter now like dandelion seeds in wind. No need to follow any single thought. Let them all drift away into nothing, into silence. Sometimes you'll hear a word, and it will anchor you briefly before you slip away again. This is natural. This is the process of falling fully into sleep. The strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, a rainbow of anthocyanins. Each berry, each colour, represents different anthocyanin molecules: cyanidin in blackberries, malvidin in blueberries, pelargonidin in strawberries, each with unique properties, each entering your blood, circulating for hours, binding to proteins, to lipoproteins, protecting them, then metabolizing, excreting, but leaving behind changed gene expression, activated pathways, effects that last far longer than the molecules themselves. Your skin cells, in your epidermis, dividing now at their fastest rate. Peak cell division occurs between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. This is when your skin repairs UV damage, produces new cells. This is why sleep deprivation shows in your face dark circles under eyes where skin is thinnest, dull complexion from reduced blood flow, fine lines more visible without the plumping of adequate sleep. Growth hormone, still surging, signals fat cells to release fatty acids. Your body preferentially burns fat during deep sleep. This is one reason why sleep deprivation leads to weight gain, not just from increased appetite, but from altered metabolism, muscle loss, fat gain. Even with the same calorie intake, sleep determines where calories go into muscle or into fat. The walnuts, shaped like tiny brains, their omega-3 ALA, their polyphenols, their melatonin, all supporting actual brain function, cognitive performance, memory, processing speed, and their elagitanins, converted by gut bacteria into urolithins. Again, mitochondrial health from nuts that humans have eaten since before we were human, since our ancestors walked African savannas, gathering, hunting, learning which foods brought strength, brought clarity, brought long life. Somewhere in the depths of sleep, you might cycle back toward lighter stages, N2, N1, almost waking, then sinking again, deeper than before. This is the sleep architecture, cycles of 90 minutes, 4 to 6 cycles per night. Each cycle, a journey from surface to depths and back, like ocean waves, like breathing, like all the rhythms that govern biological time, the pecans, the pistachios, the almonds. Each nut, each tree produces compounds to protect its seeds from oxidation, from insects, from fungus, polyphenols, flavonoids, vitamin E. When you eat them, you inherit this protection. These antioxidants become your antioxidants. This armor becomes your armor. Cross-kingdom gift from plants to animals, from roots and branches to blood and bone. Your intestinal stem cells, the ones that regenerate your gut lining every few days, they divide most actively during sleep. During the day, they mostly rest. During darkness, they activate. This rhythm, controlled by circadian clock genes, in the stem cells themselves, your gut renews on a schedule. Time to sleep, time to darkness, If you disrupt sleep, you disrupt this. Gut barrier weakens, permeability increases, inflammation rises, all from mistimed cell division, from living against your nature, against your rhythm. The carrots, they're beta-carotene, yes, but also falcarinol, a polyacetylene that's toxic to fungi, protects the carrot from infection, and when you eat it, it has anti-cancer properties, interfering with tumor growth at multiple stages. This is common. What protects plants often protects us. We co-evolved for millions of years, learning which plants were safe, which were medicinal, which were both. Our genomes, shaped by our diets. Our diets, shaped by our genomes. An ancient dance, still choreographing our health or disease. The quinoa, the buckwheat, the oats, pseudo-grains and grains, their beta-glucan fibers, soluble, viscous. They slow gastric emptying, lower cholesterol by binding bile acids, forcing liver to make more from cholesterol, reducing blood levels. They feed gut bacteria, producing short-chain fatty acids again and again. This theme repeats. Fiber, bacteria, short-chain fatty acids, the foundation of gut health, of immune health, of metabolic health. From plants that store energy as starch, as fiber, designed to nourish the next generation of plants, but also nourishing you. Your dreams, if you could remember them, might show you, floating through blood vessels, riding on red blood cells, seeing capillary walls like a tunnel of pearls, or standing in a garden where vegetables grow, already cooked, glowing with colours, impossible colours that don't exist in waking life, or speaking with your cells, and they answer in feelings, not words, telling you what they need, what they're doing, how they're protecting you. Dreams as metaphor, as poetry, as the unconscious mind, processing, integrating, creating meaning from the chaos of sensory experience, the salmon swimming upstream to spawn and die. Their bodies, rich with omega-3s, accumulated over years, feeding in the ocean. When you eat them, you eat their entire ocean life, concentrated into pink flesh, DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, 22 carbons, 6 double bonds. This specific structure makes cell membranes fluid yet stable. It's essential in brain grey matter, in retina, in sperm. Low DHA correlates with cognitive decline, depression, vision problems. Your brain is fatty, and the quality of those fats determines how well your neurons communicate, how well you think and feel and remember. The mackerel, the sardines, the anchovies, small oily fish, low on the food chain, therefore less mercury, less contamination. Their bones, soft enough to eat, providing calcium, and their oils, omega-3s. Some cultures ferment these fish, creating even more vitamin K2, even more umami, even more complexity. fish sauce, fermented anchovies, used for millennia as seasoning, as medicine, the intersection of taste and health. Somewhere around 3 a.m., cortisol begins rising, gradually, gently, preparing you for morning. But it's subtle. You don't wake, not yet, just your body, anticipating dawn. Even in total darkness, in a windowless room, your suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master clock, keeps time, firing at the rhythm of Earth's rotation. Even without external cues, you maintain circadian rhythm for days, for weeks, gradually drifting, but still there. This clock, older than mammals, older than vertebrates, found in plants, in fungi, in cyanobacteria, a universal adaptation to a rotating planet, to the cycle of light and dark. The chickpeas, the lentils, the beans, legumes that fix nitrogen from air into soil. They contain not just protein, but resistant starch, but lectins. Raw beans are toxic. Lectins cause serious illness, but cooking neutralizes them, transforms beans into food. This is why humans learned to cook. Raw foods, many are toxic. Cooking unlocks nutrients, neutralizes toxins, predigests starches, makes possible a diverse diet. This is part of what made us human. Your muscles, relaxed now in atonia, might occasionally twitch, myoclonic jerks, normal in sleep. Your motor cortex, still active in dreams, but the signals blocked at the spine. Only occasional bursts leak through, causing small movements. Nothing to worry about, just your nervous system adjusting, recalibrating for tomorrow. The temple, the miso, fermented soy, Aspergillus oryzae, breaking down proteins into amino acids, creating glutamate, that savory taste, umami, and creating vitamin K2, the MK7 form, which stays in your blood longer than K1, longer than other forms. This matters for directing calcium into bones, out of arteries. Japanese populations eating natto, fermented soybeans, have lower rates of osteoporosis, lower rates of cardiovascular disease, from fermentation, from bacteria and mold, transforming beans into medicine. You may be dreaming now of reading these words, or of something else entirely. The meta-awareness of lucid dreaming is rare. Usually you're absorbed completely in the dream world, unquestioning, accepting impossibilities as normal. This suspension of critical thinking allows the unconscious to speak in symbols, in metaphors, in storyline that bypass your waking defenses, your rational mind, and reach deeper parts of psyche that hold emotion, instinct, ancient wisdom, Gouda cheese, Jarlsberg, Edam, aged cheeses, their vitamin K2 produced by bacteria during ripening, menaquinone 9, menaquinone 7, different chain lengths, different activities. Vitamin K2 activates matrix Gley protein, which prevents vascular calcification. It activates osteocalcin, which builds bone. This vitamin ignored for decades, now recognized as critical for skeletal health, cardiovascular health, even cognitive health. From cheese, aged in caves by traditional methods, comes modern medicine. The morning will come, hours from now. Cortisol will rise higher, body temperature will increase, melatonin will fall, but not yet. Now is still, the deep middle of night, the darkness, the silence, the stillness, your body working, healing, growing, protecting, all 5 defenses, all systems, operating in concert, symphonic, elegant, precise. Sometimes you might worry that you're not sleeping, that you're hearing all of this, but hearing doesn't mean waking. You can process sound in sleep, even respond, move away from noise toward a voice, and the kind of light sleep where you're aware of thoughts, of words, of floating. This is still restorative, still valuable, just different from the deepest sleep, from delta waves, is all part of the architecture, the natural cycling between states. And if you truly aren't sleeping, that's okay too. Rest alone has value. Lying still, muscles relaxed, breathing slow, this is physiologically restorative, even without losing consciousness. And often, when you think you haven't slept, you have. Briefly, memory isn't continuous. The moments you were asleep feel like no time passed, so you remember only the awake moments and think you've been awake all night, but your body knows better. Your body keeps the true count of sleep, of rest, and heals accordingly. The squid, the octopus, the oysters, seafood, rich in minerals from the ocean, zinc, selenium, iodine, these trace elements concentrated by filter feeders, by predators, iodine for thyroid hormone, thyroxine, T4 converted to T3, the active form regulating metabolism, body temperature, heart rate. Without iodine, the thyroid swells, trying harder, producing more, but failing, goiter, hyperthyroidism, all from lacking one element, from living inland, away from seafood, from seaweed, from ocean spray. This is why salt is iodized, protecting populations, preventing disease with micrograms of a mineral, the sea bass, the halibut, white-fleshed fish, lean protein, but still valuable, still providing selenium for glutathione peroxidase, still providing B vitamins for energy metabolism, for neurotransmitter synthesis. Not everything needs to be a superfood. Sometimes simple food is enough, is perfect in its simplicity, in its sufficiency. Dawn is still so far away. 4 hours, 5. Time moves differently. In sleep, in darkness. Sometimes a minute feels like an hour. Sometimes an hour disappears like it never was. You exist outside time, or time exists differently in this realm, between wake and sleep, between conscious and unconscious, a liminal space where anything can be true, where contradictions coexist, where you are both yourself and no one at all, your liver's glycogen stores slowly depleting, glucose released, maintaining blood sugar through the night, so your brain never starves. Neurons require glucose, constant supply. Any interruption and consciousness flickers, fails. Your liver, quietly, through darkness, feeds your brain. 20% of your resting metabolism goes to your brain. Just 3 pounds of tissue, demanding so much energy. This is the price of consciousness, of intelligence, of being human. The pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, their zinc content, their magnesium, their tryptophan, the amino acid that becomes serotonin, that becomes melatonin from seeds eaten before bed, comes better sleep, not dramatically, not like a drug, but gently, over time, supporting your body's own production of sleep compounds. This is the way of food as medicine, subtle, synergistic, sustainable, working with your body, not forcing it. Chia seeds, sesame seeds, their calcium content, their magnesium, calcium, and magnesium work together in muscle contraction, in nerve transmission, in hundreds of enzymes. Magnesium, especially, is often deficient. Modern soils, depleted, refined foods, stripped. Deficiency causes muscle cramps, anxiety, insomnia, poor blood sugar control from not eating leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains, the very foods that modern diets often lack. The darkness holds you now completely. Even these words are fading, becoming background, becoming part of the darkness, part of the silence. You are not where you started. You have descended through layers, through states, each one deeper, quieter, more still, and soon you won't be able, Ella, to climb back. Even if you try, the words will mean nothing, just sounds, just vibrations, just waves, somewhere in your body, in some cell, in some tissue. Something is healing right now, a double-strand break in DNA being repaired by homologous recombination, enzymes reading, the sister chromatid copying the sequence, replacing damage perfectly, or a telomere being maintained by telomerase in a stem cell, adding tag, preserving replicative potential, preserving youth at the chromosomal level, or a natural killer cell, finding a cancer cell that arose today from a copying error, from a cosmic ray, from background radiation. The NK cell, recognizing absence of MHC class I, attacking, destroying one cell that might have become a tumor, eliminated before it begins. This happens every day, multiple times. You never know. You never feel it. Your immunity silently protecting while you can drift in dreams. genes, or a macrophage engulfing senescent cell, a zombie cell secreting inflammatory factors, the macrophage removing it, cleaning up, making space for healthy cells, for young cells. This is senolytic action, natural, ongoing, accelerated by quercetin from apples, fisetin from strawberries, compounds from food, enhancing your body's own cleanup, natural medicine, supporting natural processes. So many miracles occurring every moment, billions of reactions, trillions of cells, all coordinated, all timed, all working toward one goal: homeostasis, balance, health, life, continuing despite entropy, despite aging, despite damage. Your body is know what to do. You don't have to understand. You don't have to remember. Just rest. Just be. Just allow this ancient machinery, this wisdom, older than thought, older than humans, to do what it does best: heal, protect, renew. The blood vessels, still growing, still pruning, endothelial cells responding to oxygen levels, to VEGF, to angiopoietin, growing toward hypoxic tissue, withdrawing from well-perfused areas, perfect balance between supply and demand, between growth and restraint. This is the wisdom of angiogenesis, of your first defense, working, always working, adjusting your 60,000 miles of rivers while you rest, while you let go completely into the vast regenerative darkness. The microbiome, your third defense, continues its fermentation. Bacteria breaking down the indigestible, creating the valuable, propionate, traveling to your liver, reducing cholesterol synthesis, acetate, crossing blood-brain barrier, influencing appetite, influencing behavior. These short-chain fatty acids, more than fuel, more than energy, they're signals, messengers, telling your body, your brain, all is well. The ecosystem is balanced, is thriving. In your small intestine, Lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, producing vitamins, B12, folate, biotin. You think vitamins come from diet alone, but some significant amounts come from bacteria living in you, synthesizing what you need. This is symbiosis, true partnership. You give them shelter, food, warmth. They give you the nutrients, protection, communication. Neither survives well without the other. The yogurt, the kefir, you consumed. Their live cultures, passing through, temporarily joining the conversation, even though most don't colonize permanently. While present, they produce bacteriocins, antimicrobial peptides, suppressing pathogens. They consume oxygen in the gut lumen, creating anaerobic environment that beneficial bacteria prefer. They modulate immune signaling, training your tolerance, teaching your immunity, friend from foe, self from other, your skin microbiome, different species entirely, Staphylococcus epidermidis, Cutibacterium acnes, living in sebaceous glands, on skin surface, in hair follicles. They consume your skin oils, your sweat, and produce glycerol, free fatty acids. These acidify skin to pH 5, creating the acid mantle that inhibits pathogenic bacteria that prefer neutral pH. Your skin is not a barrier alone, it's an ecosystem, a garden of microbial allies. Every surface of your body exposed to environment hosts unique communities: mouth, nose, lungs, gut, vagina, skin, each with specific species, specific functions, specific contributions to your health. You're not one organism, you are an ecosystem, a holobiont, animal cells plus microbial cells functioning as one unit. This changes everything about how we think about health, about self, about the boundaries between you and not you. Sleep on, sleep deep, your muscles completely slack, face expressionless, breathing automatic, effortless as it was when you were born, before you learned to control it, to hold it, to use breath for speech, for song. Now, in sleep, breath returns to its original rhythm, its original purpose, just gas exchange, just life continuing. The apples you ate, their pectin, a soluble fibre, gelatinous, viscous, it feeds. Clostridium cluster, Klinsva. These bacteria produce butyrate especially efficiently, and apple polyphenols, particularly fluoretin, chlorogenic acid, they survive. Stomach acid reach your colon, where bacteria metabolize them into hundreds of metabolites. Some absorbed, some excreted, but all influencing gene expression, inflammation, cellular signaling. An apple a day really does keep the doctor away, not by one mechanism, but by hundreds, all subtle, all synergistic, all adding up to health. The grapes, red ones especially, they're resveratrol, but also proanthocyanidins, quercetin, catechins, multiple polyphenols working together, more effective than any single one. This is whole food advantage, not isolated compounds, not supplements, but the full complexity of plant chemistry, evolved over millions of years to protect the plant, and now protecting you. Your heart rate has slowed to 50 beats, 40, even lower if you're athletic, if you're young. The heart resting, recharging. Coronary arteries supplying the heart itself dilate during sleep. Blood flow increases to cardiac muscle, nourishing, repairing, micro damage from the day, from thousands of beats, from the constant work of pushing blood through your system. Even the heart, which never stops, slows down in sleep, conserves, recovers, prepares for tomorrow. The onions you sliced and cried over, their syn-propanethyl S-oxide, the compound that irritates eyes. It's created when you cut, releasing enzymes that weren't meant to mix. This is plant defense against herbivores, against you. But you persist. You cook them. You eat them and gain their quercetin, their prebiotic fibers, their sulfur compounds that support detoxification, that reduce cancer risk. You transform plant weapons into medicine through fire, through cooking, through the alchemy of cuisine. Garlic, another allium, it's allicin, unstable, pungent, only exists for moments after crushing. Then it breaks down into other compounds, diallyl sulfide, diallyl disulfide. These more stable, still bioactive. They enter blood, are exhaled from lungs, giving garlic breath, but also providing antimicrobial protection in respiratory tract. Ancient remedy for colds, for infections, validated by modern research showing antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal activity from a bulb grown everywhere, protecting everyone who eats it. The kiwi fruit, green inside or gold, their actinidin enzyme breaks down protein. This is why they tenderize meat, why they make your tongue tingle slightly, and their high vitamin C content, their prebiotic fibers, their polyphenols, all supporting gut health, immune function, cardiovascular health. 2 kiwis before bed. Studies show improved sleep onset, sleep duration, sleep quality. The mechanisms not fully clear. Perhaps the serotonin in kiwis, perhaps vitamin C supporting adrenal function, perhaps multiple factors working together in ways we're only beginning to understand. Your brain in REM is synthesizing, is creating acetylcholine flooding, hippocampus, cortex, amygdala. Dreams unfold, bizarre, emotional, vivid. You're watching a movie that you're also creating, actor and director, audience and screen. Your emotional brain, fully active, your logical brain, mostly offline. This allows emotional processing without rational interference, trauma integration, emotional regulation. This is why REM deprivation causes emotional instability, anxiety, irritability. Dreams are not just random noise. They're essential maintenance of emotional health, of psychological balance. The mushrooms, shiitake, maitake, oyster, enoki, each containing beta-glucans, polysaccharides with beta-1,3 and beta-1,6 glycosidic bonds. These structures, your immune cells recognize them as microbial. They bind to dectin-1 receptors on macrophages, on dendritic cells, activating them, priming them, making them more ready to respond to real threats. This is immunomodulation, not suppression, not overstimulation, but optimization. The immune system learning, training from fungal teachers. In Japan, in China, medicinal mushrooms have been used for thousands of years. Reishi for longevity, turkey tail for cancer support, cordyceps for energy. Modern research finding compounds that support these uses: polysaccharides, triterpenoids, ergothioneine, an unusual amino acid, potent antioxidant, concentrated in mushrooms. Humans have receptors specifically for ergothioneine, suggesting long evolutionary exposure to mushrooms in our diet. These fungi, neither plant nor animal, offering unique compounds, unique benefits, unique medicine. The broccoli, the cauliflower, the kale, cruciferous vegetables, brassicas, they evolved chemical weapons, glucosinolates, to deter herbivores. But humans, with our cooking, with our gut bacteria, transform these into isothiocyanates that activate NRF2 pathway. This master regulator switches on over 200 genes for antioxidant enzymes, for detoxification enzymes, for anti-inflammatory proteins. One pathway, hundreds of effects, all from eating vegetables that try to stop you from eating them. This is the beautiful irony of xenohormesis, plants making stress compounds. We eat them, they stress us slightly, and that stress makes us just stronger, more resilient. This is why antioxidant supplements often don't work. They remove the very stress that triggers our own defenses, but eating whole plants provides the right amount of stress, the right compounds in the right ratios to optimize, not overwhelm, our defenses. Deeper still, you drift, words becoming abstract, losing meaning, just sounds, just rhythm, just the gentle rocking of language carrying you further into sleep. Soon these words will mean nothing. You won't hear them as words, just white noise, just background hum, as meaningless as wind, as rain, as the sounds of the night. DNA protection, your fourth defense to continue. Base excision repair, fixing oxidative damage to guanine, thymine, dimers from an yesterday's sun being repaired by nucleotide excision, mismatch repair, correcting errors from DNA replication that happened in dividing cells, hundreds of enzymes, dozens of pathways, all named with acronyms BER, NER, MMR, NASAID, HR, each essential, each protecting your genetic blueprint, your instruction manual for building and being you. Epigenetic changes happening now. Acetyl groups added to histones by histone acetyltransferases, loosening DNA, allowing genes to be read. Methyl groups added to cytosines by DNA methyltransferases, silencing genes, preventing transcription. These marks respond to everything: stress, diet, sleep, exercise, relationships, every experience, potentially changing which genes are on, which are off. You're not just your genes. You are how those genes are expressed, and that is changeable, improvable, under your influence. The green tea you drank, it's EGCG epigallocatechin gallate. It inhibits DNA methyltransferases. It inhibits histone deacetylases. These effects change gene expression, particularly in cancer cells, where abnormal methylation silences tumor suppressors, EGCG, partially reverses this, reactivating to protective genes. This is epigenetic therapy from a cup of tea, not as strong as drugs, but safer, sustainable, something you can do every day for life. The dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher, its flavanols, epicatechin, catechin, they increase blood flow to brain, improve cognitive function, lower blood pressure, but also they're antioxidants, protecting LDL, protecting cell membranes, and they improve gut bacteria, increasing lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, chocolate, feeding good bacteria, who knew? Pleasure and health sometimes align perfectly. The turmeric in curry, its curcumin, bright yellow, lipophilic, it crosses cell membranes easily, enters nucleus, binds to transcription factors, NFKB, AP1, altering gene expression, reducing inflammatory cytokines, increasing antioxidant enzymes. But curcumin has low bioavailability, poorly absorbed, unless you add black pepper. Piperine in black pepper inhibits metabolism in liver, increases curcumin absorption 20-fold. This is why Indian cuisine combines turmeric and black pepper, traditional wisdom, confirmed by modern science, synergy in spice. You're breathing, so slow now, so quiet, barely moving, your chest, your belly, like a hibernating animal, metabolism slowed, conservation mode. This is restorative sleep, where the body truly recovers. Growth hormone peaks again, another pulse, another wave of anabolic signaling, build muscle, strengthen bone, repair tissue, all through the night, pulsing in waves, timed to sleep cycles, to darkness, to rest. The tomatoes, their lycopene, red pigment, carotenoid, it concentrates in prostate, in testes. Why there? Specifically, we don't fully know, but men with high lycopene intake have lower rates of prostate cancer. The lycopene protects DNA, reduces oxidative stress, perhaps prevents the initial mutations that start cancer. Cooking tomatoes in oil increases bioavailability. The lycopene, fat soluble, needs fat to absorb. This is why tomato sauce, cooked with olive oil, is one of the healthiest foods. Mediterranean diet, based on such simple combinations: tomato and olive, garlic and oil, vegetables and fish, simple foods, profound effects. The soy, it's genistein. This isoflavone, phytoestrogen, it binds estrogen receptors weakly. In high estrogen states, it acts as antagonist, blocking strong estrogen. In low estrogen states, it acts as agonist, providing mild estrogenic activity. This explains why soy protects against hormone-sensitive cancers, breast, prostate, endometrial, and why Asian populations eating soy daily have lower rates of these cancers. The dose matters, the form matters. Whole soy foods, fermented soy, not isolated isoflavones, not supplements. Context, as always, matters. Let every part of you go soft now. Your scalp, your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your chest, your belly, your back, your hips, your legs, your feet, every part, heavy, relaxed, sinking, melting, into the bed, into the dark, supported, held, safe. The blood-brain barrier, slightly more permeable now in sleep, allows waste clearance through lymphatic system, cerebrospinal fluid flowing through brain tissue, washing away beta amyloid, washing away tau, washing away metabolic waste. This clearance happens primarily in sleep, particularly in slow wave sleep. This is why chronic sleep deprivation increases risk of Alzheimer's, of dementia. The brain needs sleep to clean itself, to maintain itself, to prevent protein accumulation that leads to neurodegeneration in your gut, in the darkness of your intestines. Bacteria are not just producing vitamins, producing short-chain fatty acids. They're also consuming oxygen, creating anaerobic zones where obligate anaerobes can thrive. Bacteroids, Clostridium clusters, Faecalibacterium, these strict anaerobes, they die in oxygen. But in your gut, in the oxygen-free depths, they thrive, they dominate, they provide the bulk of health benefits. This is why maintaining gut barrier matters so much. Any leakage allows oxygen in, disrupts the ecosystem, changes the balance toward less beneficial, more pathogenic species. The olive oil, extra virgin, cold pressed, retaining polyphenols, oleocanthal, hydroxytyrosol, these compounds would be lost in refining, in heating. They're delicate, heat-sensitive, but powerful, anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective, cardioprotective. The Mediterranean secret, not just the oil, but the quality of the oil. Fresh, green, peppery, bitter even. These sharp tastes are the polyphenols, are the medicine. Smooth oil may taste better, but lacks the compounds that make olive oil medicinal. Immunity, your fifth defense, operating at peak efficiency. In sleep, cytokine production increases. IL-1, IL-6, TNF-alpha. These promote sleep, but also they recruit immune cells, they enhance antibody production, they strengthen immune memory. Sleep and immunity are deeply intertwined, each supporting the other. Sleep supports immunity. Immunity promotes sleep. When you're sick, through cytokines, through prostaglandins, through mechanisms, we're still discovering. Your T cells, right now, are more effective at binding antigens, the integrin molecules on T cell surface that allow attachment to target cells. These integrins, they're upregulated in sleep, downregulated by stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. This is why Stress weakens immunity, not just psychologically, but molecularly, hormonally. Stress hormones literally prevent immune cells from doing their job, from attaching to targets, from killing infected cells. This is why sleep, relaxation, stress management, these aren't luxuries, they're immunological necessities. The elderberries, the goji berries, the acai berries, exotic berries with exotic names, but all share similar properties. High anthocyanins, high polyphenols, supporting immunity, supporting angiogenesis, supporting DNA protection. The specific berry matters less than eating berries regularly. Variety provides broader spectrum of compounds, but consistency matters more than perfection. Every night, your body performs miracles. Every night, your 5 defenses, angiogenesis, regeneration, microbiome, DNA protection, immunity, work together, coordinate, communicate in chemical languages, in hormonal signals, in neural networks. All unconscious, all automatic, all perfectly timed to the rhythm of day and night, of light and dark, of wake and sleep. You are so deep now. Perhaps you've been asleep for minutes already. Perhaps you're still awake, hovering at the edge. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're resting. Either way, the body works. Either way, healing happens. Let go of needing to know. Let go of monitoring. Let go of trying. Just be. Just rest. Just allow. The night stretches out before you. Hours still until dawn. Hours of this work, this repair, this renewal. Your circadian clock knows exactly how long until sunrise. It's counting down in gene expression, in protein levels, in neural firing, preparing gradually for the transition back to waking, but not yet, not for so long. For now, just darkness, just sleep, just the eternal present of unconsciousness. In your bone marrow, stem cells continue dividing, blood cells being born, white cells, red cells, platelets, 2 million red cells every second, a constant stream of new life replacing the old cells. They don't last forever. Red cells, 4 months, then they're filtered out by spleen, broken down, recycled, iron recovered, bilirubin excreted, nothing wasted, everything reused. Life is recycling at every scale. The cruciferous vegetables are activating NRF2, which is upregulating glutathione synthesis. Glutathione, your master antioxidant, made from 3 amino acids, cysteine, glycine, glutamic acid. Simple, yet it's the most important antioxidant in your cells. It directly scavenges free radicals. It regenerates other antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid. It's conjugated to toxins in phase 2 detoxification, making them water-soluble, excretable. Without glutathione, you cannot detoxify. You cannot protect against oxidative stress. Your liver would fail. Your cells would die. Sulforaphane from broccoli sprouts, N-acetylcysteine from supplements, glycine from bone broth, from collagen. These support glutathione production. These give your cells the building blocks and the signals to make more. This is orthomolecular medicine, providing the right molecules in the right amounts to optimize biochemistry. Simple, elegant, effective. The pomegranates, their punicalagins, these huge polyphenols, they don't absorb intact. Instead, gut bacteria break them down into smaller compounds, urolithins, especially urolithin A. This triggers mitophagy, selective autophagy of mitochondria. Your cells identify damaged mitochondria, the ones leaking free radicals, the ones producing less ATP, and they engulf them, digest them, recycle them. This keeps your cellular power plants healthy, efficient. This may be one key to longevity, maintaining mitochondrial quality through continuous selective replacement. As you sleep, autophagy increases. This self-eating sounds destructive, but it's actually protective. Cells digesting their own components, damaged proteins, aggregated proteins, dysfunctional organelles, all broken down, amino acids recycled, used to build new proteins, new structures. This is cellular renewal at its most fundamental. This is how cells stay young, even as the organism ages, by constantly replacing themselves, recycling themselves, renewing themselves. Fasting, caloric restriction, these trigger autophagy strongly, but sleep also triggers it naturally. Every night, you go 12 hours or more without eating. This overnight fast, this is enough to initiate autophagy, to begin the cleanup, especially if you stop eating a few hours before bed, allowing blood sugar to drop, allowing insulin to drop. These hormonal changes as signal cells. Energy is scarce. Time to conserve, time to recycle, time to become more efficient. Your ancestors didn't have constant food. They fasted often between hunts, between harvests, during winter, during drought, and their bodies adapted to use these times of scarcity for cellular cleanup, for optimization. Modern humans, with constant food, with constant snacking, never allow this process and to fully engage. And perhaps this is why chronic diseases increase when cells never clean, never recycle. Damage accumulates, function declines, disease emerges, but you, lying here, fasting naturally through sleep, you're allowing this ancient process to operate. You're giving your cells time to breathe, to clean, to renew. This is one of sleep's hidden gifts. Somewhere in the distance, a clock might be ticking, but you don't hear it. Somewhere, Traffic might be passing, but you don't notice. You are far below the surface of waking, down in the depths where external sounds don't penetrate, where only internal rhythms exist. Heartbeat, breath, blood flow, peristalsis. These are your lullaby. These are your meditation. These are the sounds of life continuing automatically, beautifully, perfectly. The bell peppers, the chili peppers, they're capsaicinoids, they're carotenoids, supporting metabolism, supporting circulation, the heat of chili. It's not just taste, it's TRPV1 activation, calcium influx, neural signaling. This triggers release of substance P, initially pain signaling, but with repeated exposure, substance P depletes, pain decreases, tolerance increases, and metabolic effects emerge. Brown fat activation, increased energy expenditure from eating spicy food. You burn more calories, not dramatically, but measurably, consistently, over years. This matters. The ginger root, zingerone, gingerol, shogol, these pungent compounds, they're anti-inflammatory. They reduce nausea, they improve gastric motility, traditional medicine for digestion, for motion sickness, for morning sickness. Now validated by research showing these compounds block serotonin receptors in the gut, preventing nausea. They also have antioxidant effects, antimicrobial effects. This is the beauty of plants, used for thousands of years. Modern science explaining ancient wisdom, while also discovering new benefits, new mechanisms, new applications. You don't need to hold on to anything now, not to consciousness, not to awareness, not to these words. They will continue, with or without your attention, like a river flowing past. You don't need to watch. You don't need to remember. Just rest in the flow. Be carried by the current downstream toward deeper sleep, toward morning, toward another day, another chance, another cycle of waking and sleeping, of living and healing. The raspberries as their ellagic acid, the strawberry as their fisetin, the blackberries as their cyanidin. Each berry, slightly different compounds, slightly different effects, but all supporting health through similar mechanisms: antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-angiogenic toward cancer, pro-angiogenic toward heart, senolytic, clearing zombie cells, all from eating berries regularly, not occasionally. The dose from a lifetime of consistent consumption. This is how food as medicine works. Not quick fixes, but daily, incremental, cumulative effects. The sleep cycles continue. Stage 2, Stage 3, REM, Stage 2 again. The cycles shortening slightly as night progresses, more REM toward morning, less slow wave sleep. This is normal. This is the architecture shaped by millions of years of evolution. the pattern that optimizes recovery, optimizes memory, optimizes health. Sometimes you might briefly wake. This is normal too. Humans evolved to wake briefly, check for danger, then return to sleep. This protected us from predators, from threats. Now, there are no predators in your bedroom, but the pattern remains. If you wake, don't worry, don't stress, don't check phone. Just breathe, just rest, just trust that sleep will return, and it will. It always does. The body keeps healing. Silent defenses bloom in starlight, angiogenesis, weaving new vessels, regeneration, birthing new cells, microbiome, fermenting, protecting, DNA protection, repairing, maintaining, immunity, patrolling, defending, 5 systems, 1 body, 1 life, 1 continuous miracle of self-healing, self-organizing, self-perpetuating biology, all from the foods you eat, the sleep you allow, the stress you manage, the movement you make, the connections you nurture, simple inputs, profound outputs. This is systems biology, small changes, leverage points, shifting entire networks toward health or toward disease. You have more power than you know, more influence than you imagine, through daily choices, through consistency, through patience, through time. The wisdom in these defenses is older than humanity. Angiogenesis exists in all animals, with circulatory systems, regeneration in all multicellular life, microbiomes in all animals, DNA repair in all organisms, with DNA immunity in all life, from bacteria with CRISPR to humans with antibodies. You are inheriting billions of years of evolution, billions of years of solutions to the problem of surviving, of thriving in a dangerous world. And you, lying here, benefiting from all this wisdom, all this complexity, all this elegant design, without trying, without understanding, just being, just living, just sleeping, and your body handles the rest. The night holds you in its dark palm, gentle, endless, safe. You are a small creature, a mammal, nocturnal or not. You still need darkness, need rest, need this time of stillness. This isn't weakness. This isn't lost time. This is essential. This is when you become stronger, become healthier, become renewed. And so we end where we began, floating together through the science of health. Your body still healing, still defending, still building, silent work in darkness. The 5 systems never sleeping, even when you do, protecting you, renewing you, preparing you for tomorrow, for the challenges, for the joys, for another day of life. The body keeps healing. Silent defenses bloom in starlight and will keep drifting, floating together through health science, looping softly, endlessly, through the night, through the science of regeneration, of protection, of life continuing, and you resting deeply, completely in the knowledge that you are always healing, always defended, always held by the infinite wisdom of your own biology. Rest now, rest deep. Let the defenses do their work and drift, drift, drift into sleep, into dreams, into the restorative darkness where healing happens, where life renews, where tomorrow begins.